An 8-lane road in a crowded downtown area, but drivers go their own way calmly without any loud honking. Road signs tell you the speed you need to maintain and what to be careful of. The traffic lights tell you when to stop and when to go. Traffic police officers are deployed to control traffic flow and prevent dangerous situations. If that is so, what kind of assistance is required to allow for millions of aircrafts to fly with safety around the world? The invisible force that controls the sky, that is air traffic control. Now you will leave for your destination. Imagine you're on an international flight, sitting in the cockpit, not in the passenger seat. At this point, communication with air traffic controllers begins. They will keep you safe to your destination. First, you call the apron controller to get a permission to start engines and push back. After starting the engine and pushback, you request taxi. The apron controller will give you a taxi route along with a taxi clearance. The controller prioritizes the taxi sequence and control the movement of numerous vehicles and personnel around the aircrafts on the apron. Now you're entering the taxiway. You call the ground controller in the control tower. You follow the ground controller's instructions until just before reaching the runway. With several aircrafts approaching the runway from different taxiways, orders from the ground controllers keep them at safe intervals. Of course, they control your route too, so there are no people, vehicles, or equipment in your way. Now, you are holding just short of the runway. You call the local controller in the control tower. You let them know that you are ready to take off. Local controllers are responsible for aircrafts on the runway and within 5 miles of the airport. The local controllers decide the sequence for aircrafts taking off and landing with principle of first come, first serve. Not only that, they operate the runway lights you need and provide information on bird activity, weather, and runway conditions. You are now cleared for takeoff. You climb to a certain altitude after takeoff. You change the radio frequency to the departure controller in the approach control facility. The departure controllers take care of you within a certain area until you reach the airway. They give you radar vectors and instruct you on the proper altitude by radar display. They monitor whether you are on a safe flight path and at a safe altitude. Provide separation and traffic information so that you and the aircrafts around you remain at safe distances from each other. You are approaching the airway. Your aircraft will be transferred from the departure controller to the area controller. Airways are formed by connecting certain points in the sky. Airways have a fixed width, height, and flight direction. It's like a highway so that you can get to your destination quickly. On this highway in the sky, you're at a cruising altitude. The area controller divide their roles into several sectors depending on the region and altitude to efficiently manage large areas. After passing through area control centers in several countries, you have reached the position where the descent is initiated. You will be transferred to the approach controller in the approach control facility. The approach controller allocates the runways according to the approach procedure you request and provide decent altitudes. They also decide the landing priority of the many aircrafts approaching the runway and assign the sequence. Finally, you are transferred to a local controller at the destination airport control tower when your aircraft is located about 10 to 15 miles from the runway. If there are no other aircraft on the runway, the local controller issues the landing clearance. At the same time, wind and airport information you need to know are also provided. After landing safely at the airport, your aircraft exits the runway and proceeds to the nearest taxiway to get to the parking lot. Your aircraft is controlled by a ground controller in the control tower until getting off the taxiway. When you approach at the apron, you communicate with the apron control again, and you will be assigned a place to park. Your aircraft was able to reach your destination safely thanks to many controllers. The apron control, ground control, local control, and departure control at the departure airport. Several area controls around the world. The approach control, local control, ground control, and apron control at the destination airport. It's like a baton being handed over to the next runner on the relay track. As we have seen so far, from the moment the aircraft engine starts up until the aircraft parks on the apron at the destination airport, you are controlled by several air traffic controllers, depending on the area and the role of the aircraft. To sum up briefly, air traffic control is divided into 3 types depending on the task. First, the role of the control tower and the apron control, including taxiing, taking off, landing, and parking, are called aerodrome control services. Second, the services provided by the approach control facility from the vicinity of airports to the airways is called approach control service. Lastly, the service responsible for aircrafts on airways is called area control service. The purpose of their existence is to prevent a collision between aircrafts and between an aircraft and an obstacle, to provide advice and information for the safe and efficient operation of aircraft, to maintain the order of air traffic, and to allow for quick support and cooperation in case of an emergency on the aircraft. Although their roles are invisible to us, thanks to them, airplanes all over the world can fly safely and air traffic flows smoothly. Now that you have this basic knowledge, you're going to have more questions. For example, are there signs like roads on airport runways and taxiways? What is the maximum aircraft weight that the runway can withstand? How do aircrafts land at night or in bad weather conditions? How is wireless communication between controllers and aircraft possible? What languages do controllers and pilots in different countries use to communicate? How can the controller help in an aircraft emergency? Since you already understand the purpose and the basic role of air traffic control, you deserve answers to these questions. Air traffic control is a vast collection of leading-edge technology and at the same time the most human-oriented field that requires mutual understanding between pilots and controllers. We invite you to the most intelligent and interesting world of air traffic control. Subscribe and like are very helpful in producing the next video.